It was, it was just, I wanted to be an Olympian.
We know Jess is your twin sister.
Yeah.
But if you could pick and replace her with one of your other siblings, which one would make
I feel
the
like
best
this
twin
is a
for
trap. Weightlifting has provided sort of a therapy and meditation for me in seasons where there's a lot of grief and pain.
Yeah. Okay, that's bare minimum. Great.
Yeah, for me.
I'm glad that you clarified
for
that.
me, that
I'll
was
just
bare
do the
minimum.
A, and then okay,
For
it
me.
changes the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife Rachel is like a ball of joy and sunshine. Weightlifting saved my life in a lot of ways.
It's like, but it's okay if I don't do it.
Yeah, it's
and I'm not
fine.
depending on it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I would choose liquid chalk even over powder.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't. What are you the proudest of yourself for?
Proudest of myself for? What a great question. I want to be able to look myself in the mirror and tell myself I gave absolutely everything I had to this and did my very best. And that's been my motto in basically my whole life. Be cheering me on.
Everyone go cheer.
2 p.m. Central Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, white platform on Friday.
Alrighty. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to Chats with Maritz.
I love it.
You
Thanks
are my first guest here.
Woo!
And I just wanted to thank you for agreeing to this and coming over.
Yeah.
And just wanted to give everyone a little insight on who you are. You are an Olympic weightlifter as a hobby. And career-wise, you are currently making a change.
Big change.
Yeah. And so you'll be able to talk about that. And then you went to UTEP, which is also...
Go Miners.
I know. I feel like you have way more school pride than me.
Yeah.
Just seeing everything that I have like one shirt and then one mug that they gave me on graduation.
Sure.
And that's my limits.
I don't even think I still have the mug.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, well, maybe we're both the same. And you played soccer while you were there.
I did, yeah.
And so, yeah, do you have anything extra to add?
Well, my name's Jeanna. People have known me as Jeanna Mullen, but I recently changed my last name. I got married last year, so my last name's now Onishi. I played soccer at UTEP. Lived in El Paso for 6 years. I love El Paso. I would say that I have a lot of school pride, but El Paso and UTEP, like, everyone kind of just goes there. It's not, it's a commuter school, so everyone's like chilling with their families at home, and then they go to UTEP for their classes, and it's not as big a school pride as like UT. Yeah. Right?
Or A&M.
Or A&M or really any other Texas schools, right? I've been living in Austin for almost 3 years now. Okay. Which is awesome.
Wait, barely 3 years?
Yeah.
When did you move? Because I feel like I'm going on 3 years too, so you probably...
Yeah, I moved summer of 2023 actually, so...
Okay, I moved around September.
Okay, yeah, so we're same amount of time living in Austin. I moved here for a job opportunity at my last employer, but also because my twin sister Jess lives here in Austin. And
how long has she been living here?
She went to UT Austin after high school, so she's been here since 2014, so almost a decade now, which is awesome.
Yeah, so you came and followed her.
I did, yeah. Well, I've always thought Austin was cool. I grew up in San Antonio, went to high school there, and Austin was kind of like the cool sibling of San Antonio, I feel like, so it's I thought I'll give it a shot, and if I like it then I'll stay. And I've liked it
and
so
you've
far.
Liked it. Nice. Well, good thing you mentioned Jess, because I do have a couple questions.
Sure.
One, what is it like being a twin, and do you have that twin connection of like she feels pain and you know it, and if she's like in a car crash and you're like something's happened.
Yeah, like that's a raven or something where you just like look into the distance or something. That's the like most frequent question I get when
everyone's like, oh, you're a twin.
They find out. Yeah. They're like, what is it like being a twin? And I would say that it's like having an ingrained best friend for the rest of your life, no matter what, and I wouldn't say that we have twin telepathy. I don't know if that exists, but we know each other so well that it's like I already know what she's thinking, or she already knows what I'm thinking. We just have to like look at each other, and it's like I could even read her mind.
But I feel like that's just for growing up together and
exactly.
just being like not because DNA and like
exactly.
Well, who knows, but the longer you spend with someone,
Yeah, we've spent all of our lives together. So I feel like at that point, it's like if you're married, you're with your partner for 30 years or something, I bet it's a similar relationship where you just don't even have to say anything, unspoken, right? Mm-hmm. So it's been awesome to be in the same city as her. She's also a weightlifter, which is awesome. I'm her coach, which adds an extra dynamic to that. But it's been really good for us to be in the same sport again. We both played soccer together growing up. Mm-hmm. So not doing a sport together was really difficult. And
was the first time you guys were apart college?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I went to UTEP. She went to UT. She had offers to play D1 sports in other universities, but really wanted to go to UT and got a full ride to go there. So,
nice.
Why turn that down? Yeah. And I got a full ride to play soccer at UTEP. And so, yeah, it was hard to be apart, but it was good for us. We needed to kind of figure out our lives and be independent people.
I kind of feel that for myself. I was at UTEP and I didn't move away until I guess my first internship, and so I feel like that is like the first big growth. Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, living separate from my sister as opposed to like your family. Right. Right. Like everyone else, I could have
definitely in I would say El Paso for sure, and just like Latino families in general, right? You grow up feeling really close to your family. In some cases, you all live under the same roof, right? With your abuelos and your tias and tios, and everyone's living together. And then someone moves away and it's like, like, what's going on? Are you ever going to come back? Do you even love us? Right. So like, it was good for us, but it's good to be back together in the same city again.
So she's your twin sister and you have 4 other siblings.
Yeah. So I'm one of 6.
Yes.
Yeah. So
how was that? Was it rowdy? Were everyone in sports?
No, actually just Jess and I really.
Okay.
Yeah. My older brother is a super nerd. He's an aerospace engineer, works for Raytheon out in Tucson.
One of my best friends works there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So he does that, super nerd. Like, I love him to death, but like, yeah, the man tried basketball one time in his life because he's tall and it did not work out for him. Yeah. Jess and I have always played sports growing up. And then my younger sister, Jasmine, she was a dancer. So some people would say that's a sport. I think it's more of an art.
It definitely is a sport.
Very athletic. No. It's an athletic thing.
Yeah, but there's not like, well, you can compete and get like first place and stuff, but
it's a little bit different. I think it's a very athletic art.
Yes.
And requires a lot of strength and flexibility and mobility. And I think what dancers do are incredible. I wouldn't categorize that as a sport, but that doesn't mean it's not athletic.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I draw the distinction. But anyways, all that to say, she's very athletic. She just didn't really play organized sports growing up.
Yeah.
Just dancing. My younger brother, Adrian, he's interested in sports, and like now he just works out and tries to stay fit and is always texting me like, oh, I PR'd on my deadlift or squat or whatever. But he didn't do a ton of sports growing up. And then my youngest brother, Alan, he just turned 19. Fun fact, we share a birthday, my youngest brother.
And your twin sister.
And my twin sister and I. We all share a birthday. It's insane. Yeah. He's a pilot, or he's going to college right now to become a pilot. So not really interested in sports. Jess and I kind of took that over. Took the responsibility of athleticism for our family. So yeah.
It's a big responsibility.
Super.
And okay, so I do have a question. We know Jess is your twin sister.
Yeah.
But if you could pick and replace her with one of your other siblings, which one would make the best twin for you? I feel like this is a trap.
I feel like she's going to watch this and she's going to be like, why would you ever answer this question? All of my siblings are very unique and great in their own ways. I would say probably my younger brother, Adrian. We have very similar tendencies. We're very similar people. Introverted, extroverts, I think.
Yeah.
Relatively athletic. We get along really well. Yeah, I would probably say Adrian.
Okay, yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, if you're watching this, Adrian, you're welcome. I love you, Jess.
She's like, no, twin bond torn forever.
Yeah.
Okay, and so when you went to UTEP as a soccer athlete, how has that changed for you? And how did you manage doing both the academics and the sports, because I did not do any sports, and just the academics, that was enough to kill me.
Yeah, it was tough. I always wanted to be when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a professional athlete. That was like my number one.
Was it always soccer?
It was, you know, it wasn't, it was just, I wanted to be an Olympian. I don't know what there was about it.
Yeah,
I didn't even care. I didn't even care what I did. I landed in soccer because I grew up in Peru, and grew up watching soccer, you know, all the time, watching World Cups with my family. And when I moved to the States, I finally got an opportunity to play, and I loved it. I fell in love with the team sport and really wanted to be very serious in that sport, and spent a lot of time and energy in my early years playing soccer. And so when I got to college, for me, it was like, I'm going to become a professional. That's what I want. And like, I cared about the academic side of things a lot. I graduated second in my class in high school. Like academics was really important to me, but I was like, aside, I really want to be a professional athlete. So my time at UTEP, everything I did was spent towards like trying to become a better soccer player. Unfortunately, my career didn't pan out the exact way I wanted it to. I dealt with a lot of injuries, like season after season. I got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease like halfway through. Just like things did not pan out the way I wanted them to. But I never really found it difficult to manage both athletics and academics, mostly because I just was like, I'm not going to be stressed about school. And I wasn't. And I just like did what I was supposed to, like studied hard when I needed to. I kind of was like a bare minimum type person, which is odd.
For academia.
For academics.
In the moment.
I was like bare minimum, do what I need to do to get an A, and I'm not doing anything more than that.
Yeah, so I mean, an A is still
some people wouldn't say that's bare minimum, but for me, that was important. I just wanted to graduate summa cum laude, which I ended up doing.
Okay, that's bare minimum. Great.
Yeah, for me.
I'm glad that you clarified
for
that.
Me, that was
I'll just
bare
do the A, and then
for
it
me,
changes the picture.
Yeah,
okay.
They actually asked me to change my major. Initially, I was in engineering, and I don't know, I just couldn't see myself as an engineer, so I changed my major to business, and then eventually found myself in accounting. And they were like, why are you doing accounting? Like, you're supposed to be focused on this is going to be a really difficult major for you to do while you're in athletics. Are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, well, the way my stuff's panning out, like, I don't know if I'm going to be a professional athlete. I'm not just going to, like, no offense to like education majors or anything, but I was like, I need to pick a major that I know that I can get a job and that can be a solid career. Yeah. So I landed in accounting, but I didn't find it that difficult to manage.
Yeah. And you're still friends with a lot of, well, I don't know if a lot, but some of the girls from soccer, right? No, I thought last year at Nationals, they said that they were from...
I do still have some friends that I know from the team, but it's also very intertwined with my story. I like realized I was queer in my mid-20s, and I ended up coming out and marrying my now wife Rachel, and a lot of my friends while I was at UTEP were my good soccer friends were all very conservative Christians, and so unfortunately we don't really talk anymore, which is a little bit of a pain point, but I'm still grateful for that time, and those years still mean a lot to me.
Yeah. Do you want to talk more about that story?
Sure. I mean, yeah, my faith story and my queer story are really intertwined with each other. When I was in college, I was running hard after Jesus and after my faith. I think it was really important to me to know that God was with me, and I saw the beauty of Jesus for the first time in my life, and it was like, wow, like God is amazing and Jesus is beautiful, and I really love the community and people that really were investing in me and my faith. And I was really serious about it. As people would say, like in the sort of evangelical spaces, like you're on fire for the Lord. That's kind of how I felt. Like my faith was integral to every single part of my life, including my athletics and everything else I did. And I had a lot of peace about that in my life, and built some really good, deep relationships with people in the process. A lot of them, my former teammates. And it was great. When after college, instead of taking a job at a Big Four accounting firm or doing a bunch of other stuff, I decided to join staff on the local church that I was attending. So I became an administrative director at a local church in El Paso, where I was for a few years. And that eventually led me to do international missions with the Jesus Film Project, which is where I got introduced to my now wife, who was also a missionary for the Jesus Film Project. Very complicated story. We could go into a lot there. But essentially, from meeting her and getting to know her better, I sort of realized there was something different there between her and I. And I realized that I was queer, and she realized that she was queer. We're both in our mid-20s. We're both missionaries. It's very painful. We're like, what do we do? Long story short, we decided to leave the ministry and come out after several years of being closeted. And it was really hard for us. That was not very long ago, honestly. That was 2024 when we came out. So only 2 years ago. And our entire worlds fell apart. A lot of people left. I lost a lot of friends, a lot of really deep friends I'd had for a long time. I use the analogy of coming out as, it's Pride Month this month.
Yeah. Happy
Pride. As losing that community was like having my leg cut off.
Yeah.
And it was hard to walk. Some days it was really hard to feel like my life would ever be normal again, you know? Some of my very best friends in the whole world didn't come to my wedding, which was really, really hard. And over time, through my time in Austin, meeting new people, getting connected to a church here in Austin, obviously my amazing, incredible wife, I feel like now I have a prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not the same, right? When you go through grief and pain, you always feel that to some extent. Doesn't mean that there can't be new and beautiful things on the other side of that pain, but I'm reminded that I have a prosthetic and that it will never be the same, and I can walk again, and things most days are really great, but every now and then I remember
feel the phantom pain.
Yep. And you remember, oh wait, I went through a really big, the most horrendous grief I'll ever go through, probably.
Yes.
And I still feel like I'm learning to recover from that in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, it's their loss, too.
Well, that's what some people would say. But I'm grateful for the new friends I've made. And I'm still grateful for that season of my life, regardless. Those people, while I do feel like I was really hurt by them, they still mean a lot to me. And I still love them very much. And I hope that one day they come up to me 20 years from now and say, I'm so sorry that you're no longer in my life and I didn't love you the way I should, and I'll forgive them. And I say, it's okay. You're welcome back.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, hopefully that happens. But if not, it's also knowing
I'm
the
not waiting
friendships
on it.
You have currently and the family members.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm sure we'll get more into weightlifting, but weightlifting for me has been such a grounding thing during seasons of grief.
Yeah.
I mean, a steady, consistent thing that I can do with my body to let go of feelings of anxiety or depression or whatever. Weightlifting has provided sort of a therapy and meditation for me in seasons where there's a lot of grief and pain.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad weightlifting has been there for you. And also that is how we met.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I do have other questions.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go.
Going back into just when you were an athlete in UTEP, and then how do you transition from there to the corporate world and no longer being an athlete? Because I think at that point you still weren't doing weightlifting, right?
Yeah.
So what were you doing as a sport? Or, a new hobby, movement, dancing maybe.
I'm not a dancer. That's the one thing that I'm not very good at. Yeah, I mean, I stopped weightlifting I picked up weightlifting in around 2018 or so.
Okay.
Because I finished my soccer season and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wanted to make the Olympics. I was like, I'm just going to pick a sport.
And so at this point, you were like, maybe something else will pop up.
Maybe something else. Okay. It's not going to be soccer, but maybe it'll be something else. And I got into CrossFit for a little bit
In El Paso still? Okay.
Yeah. Two friends of mine owned a CrossFit
2018?
gym.
No, we wouldn't have overlap then.
No, I was going to a gym called Uncommon CrossFit. Two of my friends actually owned that gym. Yeah. And I think they still own it. We're no longer super connected, but they run out that gym. So I would train there with them. I was trying to get fit for soccer by doing CrossFit, and then decided there's too many things to get good at in CrossFit.
Yes.
It's so overwhelming. Like, I got to do a handstand.
I feel like we're on the opposite side of the fitness spectrum. I mean, now we're both weightlifters, but in that moment, I feel like, you at least had the endurance. And so.
Yeah, I mean, I could do the cardio stuff, and I was vaguely familiar with some of the Olympic lifts because I did college soccer. So we would do some of the movements, mostly just power cleans. But the gymnastics stuff was so new to me. I mean, pull-ups and toes to bar and handstand push-ups and all the things. I mean, it was just so overwhelming to like be really good CrossFitters. I mean, I respect them so much. It's not for me. You guys are insane. Like, I have some friends that are like very, very good CrossFitters and compete at the games and stuff. It's crazy to me. I don't even know how they do what they do.
I feel like it's one of the toughest things to,
I mean, easily
at least and they're always other sports or team sports, you have someone like picking up the slack, or you can make mistakes. I don't know, but CrossFit is just
no, it's crazy. The mental fortitude you have to have for such long periods of time is actually crazy. You just have to go into a dark place, I feel like, and
such a dark place.
Just stay there for a long time. I'm not
doing that.
Stay there for a long time.
The closest that we get now is like if you're doing like a set of 10 back squat or something, then it's like painful, and then you're like going there slightly. But I feel like
very rarely.
No, CrossFit. Just, sometimes will be like a 50-minute workout, and you're
insane. So it didn't take that long.
So you were trying to go to the games? That was your Olympics?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I also was shooting.
And it didn't take long for me to be like, this is not for me.
It didn't take long?
No, not very long.
It took forever for me. Well, I feel like, I don't know. When I joined CrossFit, I wasn't athletic at all. And so it was like, I keep getting better, and like, it's reachable, as opposed to I feel like you had a little bit more knowledge on like what fitness is. And so the literal gap. And for me, it was like, I don't have muscle ups yet, but maybe next year I'll be at the games.
I think it became very clear to me watching the games. Even I remember watching Claire Toomey, like in the games, and being like, there's just like absolutely no way. Yeah. Like, first of all, the best ever CrossFitter, without a doubt. But I was just like, this is not for me. But anyways, I found myself into weightlifting really because of CrossFit, and decided, okay, maybe this will be my shot at the Olympics. I don't know. And that was back in 2018. I actually started with Spoon Barbell out in Dallas. They're a super old club. Okay. Like one of the oldest clubs in Texas. Just some old guys lifting in a gym together. And their head coach Richard taught me how to snatch, taught me how to clean and jerk. I worked with him for a summer, and I fell in love with it. I loved the like discipline that I needed to do the lifts. I love showing up every single day and knowing I can get a little bit better. Yeah. That was something that was always very encouraging to me at the very beginning of weightlifting, because you are getting better probably every single time you're going. Yes. Realistically, right? So for the first couple of years, it's the best. You're PRing like every single week or something like that, right? Or at least technical improvements like are significant, right?
Or understanding,
oh, my body can do this. This is what's happening. So I did that for a while, and then I left weightlifting in 2020 to go become a missionary. So that's where that overlaps. Is when I went to go become a missionary with Jesus Film Project, I was like, I can be traveling the world. I can't weightlift anymore, which was true. But then, of course, the world shut down. But I didn't weightlift for 2 years, from 2020 to 2022. Okay. And I was super depressed. I was like,
I feel that. I also
where's my outlet? Where's my outlet? Where's the thing that I like do every single week? I've been an athlete my entire life, but a very like high level athlete my whole life. Yeah. And then in my mid-20s, I was like, I don't have anything, because I gave up this dream and to go become a missionary. And 2 years went by, and I just like could not recognize myself. Yeah. It was crazy. I had gained, I was sitting at 190, almost 195 pounds, which is, you know, I'm 5'5", so that was crazy to be like in an 87 kilo weight class at 5'5", severely overweight, depressed. I needed something consistent, and decided to give weightlifting another shot. And it's been over 4 years since then. Initially,
in 2022, where were you? Still in?
I was in Orlando at the time, Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And that's when I got connected with Bear Barbell, with Brittany, and all the things. Stayed there for a long time with her, and as a remote athlete. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, it was the best thing for me, like, honestly. Aside from really knowing that Jesus loved me, like, weightlifting saved my life in a lot of ways, like, truly.
Well, I mean, it's not just the physical, the serotonin and everything else, but the being able to push yourself and just being that outlet.
Believing in yourself.
And also going back to it. I feel like both of us have that, where both of us were doing weightlifting and wanting that dream and then giving up. And I feel like for me was, I just couldn't do it recreationally.
Yeah.
And so I tried running. I tried not bodybuilding, you know, just going to like a running gym,
doing a split or something.
But it was also just like too hard for me to go back to weightlifting in that time.
Casually,
even though I knew, like, even for fun, that would be what I wanted. But once you finally are like, okay, I'll go back recreationally, even though I'm not gonna, you know, hit my past numbers, and then you're like, oh wait, I love this.
Exactly. So I came back with the goal of just feeling like myself again. Initially I just wanted to be healthy. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to be fit again. And so that's how it started for me. And I started competing because competitions for me is what motivates me to work out.
Yes.
And
just having that deadline. Just having
hey, I am like actively training for something that's coming up. I need to be consistent. I need to have something I'm looking forward to, you know. So that's why I kept signing up for competitions, even though the goal was never finals. The goal was never nationals. It was just to be healthy again. But of course, if you're a consistent weightlifter and you've been in the sport for a long time, you know that the bar always keeps getting higher. So the bar was be healthy. Then it's like, maybe I can qualify for finals. And then it's like, okay, I qualified for finals. I'm not happy. What's the next stage? Now it's nationals. I'm not going to be happy until I qualify for nationals. Okay, I qualified for nationals. And guess what? What's the next bar? You know, so
let's go again. Let's jump into the next session. Maybe Olympics.
Maybe I'll be B session. Maybe I'll be A session at nationals. Maybe I'll snatch 90 kilos. Maybe I'll clean and jerk 110. Like, the goal keeps getting pushed, you know.
Yes. And it's not a bad thing.
It's not.
I know, because like my mom would always be like, what is the limit? Like, give me a number you're gonna stop at. And it's like, it's not that it's not about a number, and it's just like, it's just improving yourself, and just, you know, if you can keep going, like, why wouldn't you? And
it's an endless
especially like
pursuit.
I feel like being a woman now, like, you're in your 30s now. At least for me, it's like, I don't know for how much longer I'll be able to keep pushing and keep improving, 100%. You know. And even when I'm not, I've also realized just from leaving it and coming back that it's like, I still want to keep pushing, even though my numbers at some point are going to keep going down. It's still just, you know, you can still get a pretty intense workout without, you know, continuously PRing.
I'd like to see if I can do that. Honestly, because like you, it's hard for me to do anything recreationally. Right now I feel very motivated as an athlete. And I'm still putting up numbers that I'm proud of, and qualifying for competitions that I want to qualify for. But I can sense that my time is probably coming to an end, not because I'm an old weightlifter, but because I've just been pushing my body in athletics one way or the other for over half of my life now, which that wears on you, like, over time.
And also priorities too. Like,
I'm married now. My wife and I want to have kids in the near future. I'm changing careers, which will affect things. So yeah, I mean, there are seasons that...
Oh, that one stopped working. Sorry. Continue.
Do you want to check on it?
Yes. So where were we before? Is it? Yes, I see red.
I don't remember.
I know.
But you'll cut it there.
I know.
Start
just like something
else.
happened. Okay. Well, I guess we're already talking about weightlifting, but starting a full weightlifting session now. I have a question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Olympic weightlifter? Do you have one?
Do I have a favorite Olympic weightlifter?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Could be past times,
man,
present, future.
That's.
You could be like,
that's
my future daughter.
That's such a hard question because there are so many amazing weightlifters. A lot of people like that are my friends that I've gotten to know from being on different clubs, from being connected in the weightlifting world. Like I love watching Brandon lift. He's just like so electric, so sharp, so fun, so energetic. Like I love watching him lift. There are people that like no longer lift anymore, but like were some of my favorite people to watch. So like I think about Lane, like one of my favorite weightlifters to watch because he's just so good at weightlifting. You just love watching him lift. As far as women, I mean, I've gotten the privilege of like running cards for Estelle. One meet at finals in like 2023. That was amazing watching her lift. I feel like I can't. I mean, obviously, Olivia Reeves, I feel like is a cheat code answer. But, I just feel like I can't answer that question. You know what? I'm gonna say Jess Ferrari. Yeah, is my favorite. I'll take it.
Which is your twin, as we mentioned earlier, that you would switch for your younger brother, Jaden.
Adrian.
Adrian. Sorry. Okay. How did you get to being her coach? And you've been her coach for her whole time that she's gone back to weightlifting, right? No, she did start with another coach, and then
she was at Austin Barbell she started in Austin Barbell in 2021. Before I was in my interim weightlifting break time, and I had encouraged her to pick up weightlifting, even though I wasn't weightlifting. I was like, you should do this, I think it'd be good for you. So she started in 2021, was like barely squatting like 30 kilos, like had no strength background whatsoever, did not play in college soccer, like do any strength stuff, but is a very determined person. And so she was with Austin Barbell for a few years before I even got to Austin. So I moved to Austin, started training at Austin Barbell where we met, and then we were just training partners together. And I've always kind of had, like, I've always wanted to be a coach. I've always had like the eye of a coach, just even when I was a soccer player. I just was always thinking like a coach. That's just been my disposition, and always knew I wanted to get into coaching for weightlifting. And I'd kind of helped her a lot just in passing, as most weightlifters do. When you're together, you say, hey, like, this is what I think you should do in this next lift, or here's how I think you should tweak things, or that's just what elite weightlifters do with each other, right? Yeah. When we're lifting together, it's like, hey, I think you could do this better. Or you're like, hey, like, you know, next lift, longer. Stay over the bar longer, whatever. So I'm giving her feedback and stuff. And then eventually, after, I think it was like 6 months or maybe even a year, she had asked me to be her coach and was like, I think I'd love for you to coach me and program for me. And I think it would be just the trust that we've built over time. It had nothing to do with, you know, not liking any of the coaches at Austin Barbell or anything, but she's just like, I trust you implicitly in a way that I don't have that relationship with my other coaches. And so it became it was a challenge for me. You know, first time really coaching someone, it's my sister. So there's more pressure, but at the same time, also like the way you fight with siblings. Right. So it's like, if you're a coach to a new athlete, then they'll be like, okay, yes, I'll listen to you, but as a sibling, as a twin. She gives me a harder time than like most people. And I think if I had other athletes that I was coaching, they would listen to me way more often than she does. So it's been an interesting dynamic between us, but it's been really good. I mean, doing this sport, like I said earlier, we played soccer together for almost 10 years, and doing a sport again together has reminded me how amazing it is to do sport in community, especially with someone that you really care about and have been like together with for so long. So it's been really good for us. I've been coaching her for, it would be like almost 3 years now. Nice. And she's like one lift away from finals. It's awesome. She's getting closer every single year. And it's been tough because we mentioned earlier just about life stages. You know, she bought a house, she got married, she's thinking about having kids. Like, all of these things affect your weightlifting journey. She like got promoted at work and now is like in a very stressful job. It's hard to keep up the balance of now I have to train 15 hours a week somehow, and I have demands at home, I have demands in my work. You know, how am I going to like keep up with nutrition, and my sleep is bad, and I have to cut training short or cut my accessories.
Sleeping, if you can.
If you can, right? So
and social life.
Exactly. All of those things have affected, I think, her ability to remain consistent in training, and that's just part of life. Yeah. And I keep reminding her that the best thing that you can do is just show up when you can and give everything you can in sessions that you can make. That's just all you can do. What else can you do, right? Yeah. You have a life. You're not a full-time weightlifter. None of us are professionals. We don't get paid a single dime for this. In fact, we're paying thousands of dollars out of our own pocket every single month to do this sport. Yeah. And we love it. So enjoy it, right? Don't be too hard on yourself. It's a journey. There's never a destination, as we talked about earlier. And I think she's taken that and sort of ran with it. So
yeah. And how does being a coach, how has it changed the way that you are as an athlete? If it has, I'm pretty sure it has.
Sure. Yeah. I have a lot of empathy for athletes and for myself. I think what would I say to my athlete if they had a session like I just had? How would I treat them?
Yeah.
And I try to treat myself the same way. You know, if things aren't going right or somehow you just forget how to snatch, which, you know, is not unusual. One day you just show up and you can't even hit like 70% and you're like, what's going on? I think if you're not a coach, athletes tend to be really hard on themselves and they think, I'm total shit. Why can't I lift this weight? What's wrong with me? But as a coach, like if I'm seeing an athlete struggle like that, I'm saying it's okay. Let's try to find a way to make this session productive, even if it's not what you initially intended when you walked through the doors. How can we still make you that 1% better in whatever way that looks like today, right? Yeah. And that's how I've reapproached my training when it's not going the way I want it to. Now that I've been a coach, I'm like, wow, like I wouldn't speak to my athlete the way I'm speaking to myself right now.
Oh yeah.
And it's been helpful for me.
Yeah. Whenever I started writing my own programming, and it's the same thing, that it's just, I feel like everything also just redirects you and changes you. But yeah, coaching others, we're all a lot harder on ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
And
absolutely.
Yeah. And watching you coach her, it's just really something. I love watching both of you lift and coach each other. And how have you changed mentally not from like all the way in the beginning or CrossFit days, but like, let's say like last year, from like, how do you approach your training or a big lift or competition? Like, have you changed mentally from a year ago to now? So I know a year ago it was going to be your first nationals.
Right.
So I feel like that might be a big stressor. Cause yeah,
I willed myself to nationals last year. Yeah. I did absolutely every single thing I could possibly do to qualify for nationals. I gave up in the middle of prepping for my wedding and being in like the busiest accounting season possible. I just said, I'm going to get there. And yeah. The real honesty is I've been saying that for a long time, and some years you say that and it doesn't work out, and that's just how it is. Last year it worked out for me and I got to qualify for my first nationals as a senior, which was awesome. And I think I was nervous, but the reality is I had no expectation. I was like, I'm just happy to be there.
Yes. That's what I feel like too.
I'm just happy to be there.
The first time is just like getting there. That is the goal. Once you're there, it's like, hi, it's been done. Like whatever happens.
And honestly, I didn't have a great performance at nationals. I went 2 for 6. I think I hit 78.98, which wasn't even a qualifying total at the time. And I was okay with that. I think I had put so much energy just to qualify. People don't realize how difficult it is just to qualify.
Yes, which I do want to talk about.
We can talk about that for sure. But when I got there, I was just like, okay, I'm here. I need to enjoy it. It's okay if it doesn't go the way I want it to go. I'm going to do my best. And, you know, yeah.
And the change to this year?
This year for me, I feel like I'm kind of approaching it with a very similar attitude.
Because
I
career
qualified.
Changes.
Yeah, I'm in a transient sort of liminal space right now, transitioning careers from the corporate world to firefighting, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And
more physical. You won't be sitting all day now.
Oh, praise God. I am so tired of sitting at a desk for so long. I'm excited to use my body in really helpful ways for our community, and excited to do that. The academy would start July 13th. Okay. So right after basically nationals. So I'm kind of treating this nationals as a really fun, not last hurrah, but I won't be at AO2. Well, I'll be at AO2 as a coach, but I won't be competing at AO2. I might be competing at finals, but who even knows, honestly.
Yeah. And
so I'm just trying to go in, hit some good lifts. Yeah. I changed coaches, so now I'm with a different club, and I'm just hoping to have a good time.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. And yeah, I'll be watching from afar. Okay, so how many times were you going to a meet thinking, I'm qualifying to nationals this time? And at which attempt did you finally qualify?
Yeah, it must have been, maybe like 5 or 6 meets. And I don't compete very often.
Right.
So that's like several years. Yeah. I remember really trying to qualify for it took me for finals. I qualified for my first finals in 2023.
Okay.
After a year of coming back into weightlifting. Mm-hmm. And so then immediately the goal was, now I'm going to qualify for nationals. Yes. So every meet after I qualified for finals was, how do I qualify for nationals? And honestly, I wasn't even close for a really long time. In 2024, I thought I'm going to qualify. I had honestly no shot. I'd had to have
And that's the thing. That's what I mean whenever, like, the moment that I was like, I'm still going to make it to the games versus, you that already knew the physicality of it. Same with weightlifting, that It's like so many times, same for me, that I've like, I'll qualify. Yeah, I need a 5 kilo PR for both lifts, but I can do it,
Exactly. You kind of have this idea of like, if I keep pushing myself and I keep doing this, like I could it's attainable, it's reasonable. Mm-hmm. Right. And, for some people that is the case. It is reasonable for them. Yeah. But for me, 2024 was just not a great weightlifting year for me. Life transitions coming out, depression, all the things that I went through in that year. All that to say is I did not qualify for nationals that year, and I was pretty disappointed, but I was like resolved in 2025 to be like, you know what, I'm qualifying no matter what. I remember after my performance at finals in 2024, I was so distraught that I hadn't qualified. And I said, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit of time to myself, and then I'm going to give it absolutely everything I have. And I think I competed twice in 2025 in March, which I was one lift away from competing or from qualifying.
Wait, I want to talk about that one. Is that the one that we did together?
I think we did do it together.
Oh my God.
You had an amazing meet that
I know. And that was, because that was my first meet that I did when I started writing my own programming. Also, I had been deadly sick that week. And so I think I talked to you right before like weigh-ins, and I was like, I still don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm like, already paid. I'm here. Let me see what happens. But like literally that morning I couldn't eat anything.
I remember.
So yeah, I think like every single time I try to like channel that of like, nothing matters, like,
yeah.
But I remember that, because I don't think I was trying to qualify to anything. I had the numbers that I needed, but the weight class that I was in wouldn't have done anything. But yeah, you were going for it, and you didn't qualify that one time because of a press out.
Yeah.
Not because, if I'm being honest, if we look back, like that was just okay.
Pretty harsh for a local meet. I'm not gonna lie.
And it was
at Bear in my own
your own club. Yeah.
It was a pretty big bummer. Yeah, I needed a 177 total, and as a 64, which is what I was competing at the time. And yeah, I hit my first snatch at 77, and I had 2 attempts at 80, and didn't make the first one, and then they called the second one a press out. And I mean, it was like barely, I mean, I would have called it obviously, but you look at the video and you're like, come on.
No, it wasn't. Well, I don't know if you know this. Did I post a video? I think I did. My last clean and jerk was a horrible press out.
It was mixed judging, let's just say.
And I didn't get called out, you know?
That's okay.
And I wasn't trying to, I know. But it was just sad because I was over here just like, oh my God, this is like the best performance I've ever had. And then you're like defeated. And
I knew like, once I didn't make the 80, it was going to be hard for me to make 100. I needed the 100 kilos clean and jerk, which at the time, as a 64, I mean, I should have never been a 64, just to be honest. I should have been a 71, but I was like trying to will myself to get there. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't strong enough. And I didn't have the legs for it. And my jerk was terrible. So yeah, I didn't make the 100 kilo clean jerk like I needed to, and was pretty disappointed. And that was March of 2025. And I thought, okay, I guess I have one more shot. And so, yeah, I gave everything I had for 8 weeks. Competed at 64 again, and then I finally, when I qualified, I think I only had like a 3 for 6 day. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
I made it. I made 77, 80 kilo snatch, went for 83, missed 83, and then opened at what I needed, 97, made it my first lift, missed 100 twice, or missed 100 and then just didn't take a fifth attempt. Yeah.
So you're like,
so it was crazy to fight for so long, for years, and then qualify on a 3 for 6 day.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. You know, it's like, okay, so where was this whole time, right? Like, what the heck?
But it's, you just learn that from doing it. You like the gritty aspect, like you just get it out. Which leads me to another question is, do you have like one of those days that it was like the worst performance ever, or you recovered, you know, like that is like, or you miss like snatch and then you get in the third one that like in the moment it was like the worst thing, but you learned the most because of it? Yeah. Do you have one of those?
Honestly, when I qualified for nationals in that meet in May, mm-hmm. I missed both my last warm-up attempts in the back room. Both of them. I missed 74 or 71, 74, which is like super odd for me. Yeah. I'm very consistent. Like for most of my warm-up attempts, I almost never miss in the back room. Uh-huh. And I just like could not make any snatches like that day in the back room. And I was freaking out because obviously I can't even make 74. I know I need at least 80. I'm thinking this is it. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Uh-huh. And I don't know, something just clicked. Sometimes you just click on the platform.
Well, for me, yeah, as soon as you step on the platform and like just the energy of everyone, and then it's just like different.
Yeah, it's different, and it was, and I was grateful for that in that moment. And this year, you know, I qualified for nationals this year at AO2 last year.
So you've had some time to.
So I've had a lot of time to just chill and not worry about it, which has been great. Had the best meet of my life at AO2 last year. I haven't even honestly hit anything close to those numbers since then. But I'm grateful that I get to come in just with kind of a clean slate, a new coach, a new team, and have some fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for this nationals, and it's next week.
I compete next Friday at 2.
Yes. I am hoping to edit this and everything before then.
Great.
If I can figure out the editing.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for you. Okay. So I feel like I don't know much about other sports, but my assumption is that weightlifting is one of the most like OCD sports, because everything like, yeah. We do 2 movements, well, kind of 3, but that is our sport, and we do them every single day, rep after rep. Like, so you end up doing everything the same way. Do you have any rituals that you always have to follow? And it's not because it's superstitious. It could become superstitious, but like, mm-hmm. Do you have any rituals on a regular training day or competition that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're your secrets, you don't have to tell them.
No, I always encourage people to find something that they can do every single time to sort of reset for them. Mm-hmm. For me, I spin the barbell. Like when I walk up to it, I set my feet, I spin the barbell, right hand, left hand, and then take a deep breath, and then I lift, you know? So I like to do that. Helps, like, and honestly sometimes it really messes with me because if the barbell doesn't spin when
I was gonna say that
because
there's been like sticky ones because I don't spin them, but I feel like I do kind of just like grab it like this, and then sometimes like and I'm like, oh no,
it's bad.
I did not
so
like
I'll pick up the bar. I'll actually like take out the slack from the barbell a little bit if I feel like it's not spinning, which is what powerlifters do. They take out the slack from the bar, so I like pick it up really quick to like try to spin it more. But that's kind of my routine. I mean, I try to get into a really like calm headspace before I lift. I'm not a like listen to music type person or like have conversations with people.
Okay. So you're just locked in, like zoning out into the distance.
Silence is pretty good for me. And there's a lot going on in a national like meet training hall.
That's why I do need
so much. But I just find that like I don't lift with music in general if I'm by myself, or if, you know, if I'm at like Austin Barbell or any other gym training, there's music out there, but I'm not listening to it in my head. So I don't like to rely on anything external to help me lift. I just try to rely on myself. Like if I have to rely on like people screaming for me to lift, I know that that's probably not a great thing because I may not have that when I'm lifting at a meet, you know, or something. Yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't say like a ton of routines or like things I need to wear or whatever. I mean, I do have my pair of leggings I wear every single time, or like my shirt that I like. But
it's funny because I'm also the same way. I'm like, I'm not superstitious. But I do my hair this way. I just said, I'm like, these are my socks and this is everything. It's like, but it's okay if I don't do it.
Yeah, it's
and I'm not
fine.
depending on it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I have my little things, but nothing that I feel like has to be exactly the same every single time. Except for my like approach to the barbell. I feel like that is pretty similar.
Do you wait for the 30-second mark?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Same for me.
I can't. I had one time I had it happen where it beeped in the middle of my lift. They forgot to turn it off once it passed my knees, and it beeped while I was at my power position, and I just like freaked out. Yeah. I was like, it threw me off, you know. Yeah. So I just wait until after. I walk around, talk to myself a little bit, and then I'll go up. So
yeah, I feel like my routine is kind of like at the 45-second mark, I'll just start walking, and so like the 30-second, it's like I'm still like thinking, you know, and like people don't realize that, you know, you're just waiting it out. But yeah, it's happened to me too. Yeah. And I always know, like every time that I'm seeing someone, I'm like, no, like I'm always watching the clock, and I was like,
I've seen people cut it really close. I mean, there's some people that love the pressure of that. Like they love winding the clock down.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've seen, like Matty Rogers going at like the 1 second mark that like almost did it.
So risky.
That was like,
but hats off to you if you can do it.
No. Yeah. No, I am so scared. Do you have any advice to a beginner weightlifter on what... First of all, I qualify beginner weightlifting. Like, I don't know, anything less than like 2 years. And I just would meet people that they are like on month 6 and they're like, oh my God, my mentality. And like, you know, they'll start blaming their like mental game. And I just want to scream like, no, like you're not at that point yet to where like mentality even affects it. Like right now it's all physical and like like yes, obviously like mentality, but I feel like a lot of weightlifters, I don't know if it's because like we just see the more advanced weightlifters, you know, talk about like, oh yeah, I was distracted on that one or something. But that is something that I always think of beginners, that I just wish I could just be like, do not like think that you yourself are to blame for it. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm trying to say. That like what, just do the lifts and like
what kind of advice would I give to beginner weightlifters? Like I would even say for weightlifters, I would even say it's more than 2 years to get proficient at the lifts. I mean, the best advice you could probably give anyone is stay consistent. Yeah. And regardless, like, some people try to make the mental game probably too big of a thing too early. But like, if you're just consistent and you're okay with being bad at something for a long time, you'll get better. The curve of how much you improve at weightlifting it's not linear, right? It's like a bell curve, and it takes not 2 years to get to the top of it. It honestly takes 5+ years to really get there. And I think that's been warped a little bit by how prevalent really good weightlifters are in social media. And you're seeing people all the time snatch 75 kilos, like no problem. Some people even muscle snatching that or power snatching that, and you think, oh, 75 is a really like casual number. You and I both know that that's not true. To snatch 75 kilos takes a lot of proficiency and strength that most people don't have. In fact, the majority of weightlifters are never touching anywhere close to like a 75, 95 number. Yeah. Right? They're not qualifying for finals. They're definitely not qualifying for nationals. That's like most people. But these, like, when you go on a social media and you just see all of these weightlifters just doing, like, I see like 16-year-olds snatching like 90 kilos, and you're like, okay, I guess this is a normal number. It's not. They're freaks. And you're seeing it, but honestly, that's not normal, right? Yeah. And so I would just encourage beginning weightlifters to set standards for themselves and to set, you're competing as a weightlifter against yourself for the majority of your career. Honestly. Yeah. It is, what am I capable of doing now versus what am I capable of doing a year from now? That's your goal, right? What do I think I'm capable of doing? Not what I need to be lifting, what they're lifting, because they're someone else. Like, it's a completely different thing. Yes, you are in competition with them. Hopefully you attain the goals you want to attain and win medals at meets, and all that stuff is great. But at the end of the day, you're competing against yourself. Last year at AO2, I had the best meet I ever had, snatched a PR 83 kilos I'd never even touched in training. It was awesome. I ended up medaling second in the snatch. Like, I didn't really care the fact that I won second. I cared that I had made something that I had never even touched before and like made it look easy. I feel like that day I could have snatched 90 kilos. Yeah. So I was proud of myself for that. Like, the medal, even if I hadn't gotten second place, I would have been stoked out of my mind because I pushed myself and I hit something I didn't think I was capable of that day. Yeah. And so that's what I would encourage like beginning weightlifters to focus on, is your own performance, your own consistency, not to think too much about what everyone else is doing or what they're hitting, or, oh, they've only been lifting for 6 months and they're better than me. Okay, some people just take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Yeah.
No, I think it's really important that you said that about, the medal, because I've had meets where, you win first place or something, and then it's like the most disappointed I've been in my lifts, and then others, that I bomb out, and I am the most proud of those,
because of your fight, because of your effort, because you pushed yourself, you tried to like do something you've never done before. Like, all those things matter, right? If we're only focused on medals and winning, then I think it kind of missed the point of weightlifting. You only get 6 attempts, and at the end of the day, how you do those attempts really matter more than a medal.
Yes. What attributes do you look out for in a coach?
In a coach for me?
For you, yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think one of the major things is, well, just proficiency. Like, they have expertise that I don't have, right? I know that, I could program for myself. I have experience programming. I have experience in strength sports in general. I know how to program the basics, but I want someone who has expertise that I don't have. Yeah. If I'm paying you money to coach me, you have something that I don't have and that I need from you, right? I also do think that there is some benefit, even if you are a really proficient coach or like you have experience programming, you have someone to help hold you accountable. That's also really important. Yeah. So proficiency and expertise is definitely one of those. I think the other is commitment to developing a deep sense of community within your athletes altogether. Like, yeah, we're an individual sport, but it really matters to develop, like, that's what I look for in a club, is like developing a sense of, we're all in this together, you're not alone, right? You're people too, right? We're not just machines, right, who just lift weights. There's much more to weightlifting than just individual performance. And I would say that's and also just like a sense of understanding. Sometimes you talk to someone and you're like, what you're doing and you're an expert, but we're just not vibing. There's something about our communication that feels off. And that's okay. It's okay that you don't jive with every single coach. That's a normal thing. Sometimes you just have to say, I just like this person better. There's something about this person that makes it feel easier for me to talk to them and to receive feedback from them. Who even knows why? But I think that's very valid. It's like friendships, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just connect with someone really easily, and other times it's hard to connect with them. You should look for a coach that you can see yourself easily connecting with. It doesn't have to be like they're your best friend, but you need to be able to trust them and communicate with them, and it to be easy. It shouldn't be hard to communicate with your coach.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like also an athlete-coach relationship is also a very personal one.
Certainly.
And I don't know. I feel like, same as like friendships, relationships. I feel like a athlete coach.
Yeah. Yeah, it can. I think it is a very personal relationship, but far too often, I think there is a boundary that can be crossed,
definitely.
right?
And I feel like with weightlifting a little bit, it gets blurred more.
A little bit.
I don't know, because like you see like basketball coaches. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm laughing here about
more
personal relationships. So I literally coach my twin sister, so
I know
we have a very intimate coach relationship. But I would say that's very abnormal. And if I ever coached someone else, it would be a very different thing.
Yes.
I think professional boundaries is really important in coaching. While you have to maintain a professional boundary, at the same time you should have like a really good relationship and open communication and trust with your coach, but professionalism should still exist.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, random question: are you a block or a powder chalk person?
Oh my gosh,
it was one of my
anyone who's powder, that's insane,
right?
I feel like you have like block 100% of the time.
Yes,
like
especially when it's not when it's like really new, that it's like really jagged edges,
right.
But when it's like a little bit softer, but it's like the big block,
have that's like I feel like I don't trust anyone who says powder.
Yeah, no,
I
joking.
Agree. I'm joking,
no, I
honestly,
don't.
But
it's like I have like family members that like do the milk and cereal separately.
And
how
does that work?
That's how I feel with they just like they'll just do cereal and then drink the milk on the side, and to me that's like psychopath behavior.
That is
same for me when someone's like, oh, powder, and it's like I don't know.
No, yeah, I would choose liquid chalk even over powder.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't. I've
so
like lifted at like one of my friends' garage, and she does the liquid. Oh, it just feels so weird.
It does feel weird, but that's I trained at a Globo gym for a really long time.
Yeah,
they didn't allow chalk, so I had to use liquid chalk.
Yeah,
and I got used to it, and it's fine over time. Like if that's all you know for a while, like you get over it. But yeah, definitely block for me, then liquid, then powder. Yeah, you know.
I guess it's good with. I think for me, it's just part of my ritual of every single lift that I will chalk up. Sometimes I'll find myself just like out of muscle memory, and I'm like, I'm back squatting. Why am I chalking up? Like no. But yeah. And do you have any preferences on equipment? I know at ABB I would wait for the Vaughn plates.
Okay. Yeah, you like the specific plates.
Yes, because like the shiny color ones, like fluorescent, I don't know what it does to me. I didn't like those. And it's the color specifically,
so
not because of how they bounce.
I do have a preference on barbell.
Yeah.
I find that like the ZKC bars at Austin Barbell are awesome. Those are my favorite bars. I also really like the Puros bar.
Yes, I feel like I like that one.
I like Alico bars, but the spin tends to be bad unless they're like 10 years old Alico bars. Like the quality's amazing.
From like the newer ones?
Yeah. If they buy a new one and it's like, it kind of is rough until it's like broken into. It feels like it takes a while for them to break into. Plates, I don't have like a huge preference on plates.
Yeah, the metal change plates.
I don't mind the metal change. Honestly, sometimes they're easier to slide on and off.
Oh.
So that's one
for
thing
me,
that's
just
beneficial.
like the sound, they're just too
loud. Jess has similar preferences to you in that way. She like everything has to be exactly perfect for her to be lifting. I'm just a little bit more chaotic.
I mean, it'll be okay. I forget who I was lifting with, and they're like a newer, and it was like the janky plates, and they're like, you can have these. Like, and I was like, thank you. I was like, I hadn't even voiced it, but I was just like, you know, looking, and they're right there, and I was like, yeah, I see them. Let me just get something else.
I think I do have like some preferences, but to what I said earlier, if you're relying on something to be exactly the same every single time, that can be harmful. Like when you're at a national meet and you have no control over plates, barbell, anything else, music, lights, stage, it's all different. You can't prepare for that perfectly. So if you're relying on something to like lift well, sometimes I like to just go to a random gym and just lift things I've never lifted with, so that I can like get out of my own, like,
just like, see, I don't need to have everything the same way.
Exactly.
The classic, like the Michael Phelps swimming with like water in his eyes for training. We can do that for like some squats or something. Just like close your, I think I did have like a coach randomly be like, okay, close your eyes, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
At some point it becomes like innovative versus like actually dangerous, right? And you're like, okay, well, we need to keep our eyes open for the most part to be safe. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so moving a little bit on from weightlifting into more personal ones, I just want to see what are you the proudest of yourself for? Proudest of myself for? What a great question. Well, recently, we talked a little about this earlier, me making a career change. I'm really proud that I have had the courage to make changes in my life, regardless of how difficult they are or how maybe unrealistic they seem to be. I'm over 30 years old. I'm 31 this year, and I'm making a change to become a firefighter with Austin Fire, which if you had told me that I was going to do that after having this really amazing Big Four accounting job and going to give all of that up to go do firefighting, I would have told you you're crazy, because that doesn't seem like a very realistic thing to do. But I'm proud that I've had the courage to make change. I think it's being adaptable is, I think, one of the best skills and honestly characteristics you can have in this day and age when everything is changing around us all the time. And also, like, we can get so convinced and sucked into this like sort of corporate world of like, this is what your life has to be, this is the best decision for you, there's nothing else that's better for you outside of like climbing this corporate ladder or whatever else it might be. And I feel proud that I'm not getting sucked into that further, because I feel like it would be harder for me to leave if I had left later on in my career. I was just about to get promoted, and I basically said, no, thank you. I'm actually going to take a 50% pay cut to go to firefighting. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. Yeah, and I'm proud of you. Thanks. Who in your life brings out the best in you? Oh, definitely my wife. Yeah. My wife, Rachel, is like a ball of joy and sunshine, and she's always encouraging me to see, not just like look at the bright side of things, but to really see good in situations and to be grateful that we do have so many. We have an apartment, we have 2 cars that are paid off, and we have jobs, and we have family that love us, and we have friends. And she's always reminding me that no matter how hard things may seem at the moment, that there's so much more to be grateful for. And I think we just need to remember that, because our world is a mess. A lot of times our communities there's a lot going on in our world, and we just need to remember that things are still good, even if a lot is really bad. Yeah, I agree. What is your ideal Sunday? Ideal Sunday? Well, I go to church on Sundays in the morning. Ideally, I'm sleeping in, because you heard it here first. Jesus definitely slept in. Like, that man was not up at 6 in the morning. I don't know who told people. The 5 a.m. run club? Or he was not. Let me tell you, Jesus was sleeping in. So, yeah, a slow morning with my wife. Coffee. I have an espresso machine at home. I make myself a coffee, Americano. Ideally, there's like a FIFA World Cup game happening or something, and I get to watch that. Great timing for this. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. While I watch some soccer, while I sip on some coffee, and then I go to church, and afterwards maybe have lunch with some friends. And honestly, just like a slow day. I feel like my days are always very fast paced. I'm always doing something. So not having very much to do sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
I love making food. I love like cooking a meal for friends or people. So I ideally maybe host and make a meal or something. But yeah.
Sounds like a lovely Sunday. Where do you feel the most like yourself?
Oh, at the gym for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm always very focused. Like, I think we had a conversation about this once where you're like, are you mad at me? And I'm like, no, I'm just training. I'm just training. I'm
locked in.
I'm just locked in. But I do feel like when I'm not in a rush and I don't have somewhere else to be, like, I love being at the gym, having conversations with people, cheering other people on, like training, pushing myself really hard. I feel the most myself when I can be in community doing that with other people. The gym community, it gets a lot of flack, I think, outside of like weightlifting spaces, because they feel like it's not inclusive or it's not like welcoming. But I'm like, just go to a barbell club and you'll see that that's very different. Or just anywhere where people are getting together as a community to work out. CrossFit gym, I feel like you find that a lot. It's about community, it's about camaraderie, it's about encouraging each other to be the best version of yourself. And like, yeah, I love being a part of a gym community. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's been the best. What is your favorite book?
My favorite book?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I know your wife is more of the reader.
She's a crazy reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to read a lot, actually. My favorite series growing up was the Percy Jackson series. Have you ever read that?
I've never read them, but I watched the show. The first season. I haven't watched. Yeah.
Show was like meh, but when I was growing up, that was my favorite series. And I read them all the way through my adulthood. My favorite book that I've read recently, honestly, nothing is coming to mind, which
I know I should have given you warning. No, I feel like I'm yours. You
guys probably have like a ton of books at any period of time.
But anytime that someone, even now, like probably if you tell me, I'm like, I don't know. And I always feel like in one context, like for who or for me or
I actually am reading this book right now though, about a woman in the fire service who was a wildfire firefighter. Honestly, I forget the title right now, but it's been really interesting to read about her experience as the only woman in a firefighting like platoon or whatever. She talks about her interactions with the other guys in the group, and just her perspective on firefighting is just different as a woman who realistically less physically capable in general than most men. But it's been cool to read about her experience. So Wildfire Days, I think is actually what it's called. Yeah.
Yes. You saying that also just reminds me of like stepping into a CrossFit gym and now like weightlifting. That is like the most obvious discrepancy in the strength, right? Of like between like a man and a woman.
Right.
But at the same time, it's the most inclusive environment that I've ever been in on both. Like, yes, I know I'm not going to be, squatting the same as like Ruben, but at the same time, in both of these environments, it's always been like we're all equals and like we're all dying at the end of the workout. And it's like, yes, obviously I have a women's bar, or a 35 kilo bar or I 15. Said that all wrong. Yes, 15 to 35 pounds. But also like being a woman engineer too. Like I feel like it's going to be a lot similar to the experience as like a woman.
A lot of male dominated spaces. That's just true of everything. You know? So no matter where you are in corporate or in firefighting or in the CrossFit gym, there's a lot of male dominated spaces. And one thing I really love about weightlifting or CrossFit is that I do feel like these type of sports really kind of level the playing field for men and women. Like 90 kilos is 90 kilos. And it's been really cool to see the respect when you're a good weightlifter, whether that's just because of the weight on the bar or your technique and form. There's a lot of respect across genders.
Yes. Of
people saying, wow, that woman's snatching 85 kilos. I know what it feels like to snatch 85 kilos. That looks amazing. There's respect there, right? And I've seen that. Like you think about some of the most prolific weightlifters in the US right now, like Olivia Reeves or Abby Cooper or like any of these other women. They're like lifting weights that people at my gym don't even lift.
Yeah.
There are very few men at my gym that can even snatch anywhere close to Olivia Reeves.
Yes.
And so it's showing what women are capable of. And obviously, you and I aren't lifting that, right? But there's still mutual respect there. And there's a lot of men I know that really love watching women weightlift, because they know what it's like. They know what that weight is, and they have respect for it. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, before I ask my last question,
sure.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about today that I didn't get to ask?
Wow, I feel like we dabbled in like a lot of different
I know,
topics.
I tried to,
yeah, I feel like, my story is like I have like a very interesting, I wouldn't say interesting story, but like I grew up in Latin America. My parents are immigrants. Like I have very, I know what it's like to struggle a lot in different things, whether that's financially, like we grew up on food stamps, my family did, or whether that's sports. And like I will say this that we didn't get to talk about. I've never been the best athlete in the room ever.
Okay.
I've almost never, even when I played soccer, like I wasn't the best on my team. I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the most gifted, but I've always told myself that I will never be outworked. That was always my motto. I may never be the best. I may never be the most talented, but no one is ever going to be able to outwork me. And that has taken me far. It won't take me farther than having a lot of talent and working really hard will do. But I feel
like you've been the best at rooms I've been.
Maybe I haven't felt like that because like when I was at Bear, for example, it's very clear I wasn't the best weightlifter at Bear. I mean, we had at one point, 20, 25, 30 people going to senior nationals, which is crazy for a club, right? At Austin Barbell, there's only 2 people right now that are qualifying for senior nationals, and that's very normal, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess for me, I kind of looked around and was like, well, there are people that are a lot better than me in my own club.
Yes.
So it felt like that often.
Like that was my room.
Sure, in my training spaces, maybe. But now with my new club, 1440 collective, like I'm not even close to being the best. Like there's like 4 other people in my weight class that are like lifting incredible weights. Like, yeah. So, but I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can. And that's just been my motto. Like even with firefighting and stuff, I know I'm not going to be the most physically capable person in the academy. I know that, right? Realistically, but I want to be able to look myself in the mirror and tell myself I gave absolutely everything I had, to this and did my very best. And that's been my motto and basically my whole life.
Yeah. Which something in there reminded me of a different question I was thinking about. Is have you had like a nemesis that pushed you to be better? And like, I don't know. You don't have to name them. Yeah. I just, I don't know. I feel like I see them.
Do you have a nemesis?
I want to have a nemesis. No, I just see like, I feel like the guys, whenever I go like train with the guys and they're always like 1 kiloing each other. And I think it's also like a very like testosterone driven thing to do. Sure. Cause I feel like us women, like we're always like, let's go, you got this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did have one that I didn't consider her to be my nemesis, but she did me. That like, and it was like CrossFit, and she had like barely started, and then she'd see my weight and like try to put the same, and I'm like, dude, just go lighter. Sure. But just because of like I was her nemesis, I was like, you know what, like I will push a little bit. And it was one of those days that like I think she was doing some like back squats or something, and she like failed it, dropped it, and I was like, oh, let me help you out.
Oh no. Oh no.
And I was like, you're being kind, but I was like, oh, that felt so good.
Oh no. You know what? No, I don't think I really do. I mean, obviously I am very motivated when I see other people post their lifts, and I think, or if they're lifting around. I follow a lot of like other 69 kilo weightlifters that I've gotten to know through competitions, and when they're, I see them PR at like 85 plus, 86, whatever. That is motivating to me. I want to hit my, you know, my realistic goals in the near future are like 90, 110. Like,
yeah,
I want to hit that. I want to hit a 200 kilo total, exciting. And I'm encouraged by them. If they can do it, like, maybe I can do it too, you know? So there's that aspect of sort of camaraderie. I wouldn't quite go as far to say like arch nemesis, you know, but I am never rooting for anyone to do poorly.
Oh, no.
My goal is always that you would do your best and I would also do my best.
Yes.
Now, if I beat you, that's great.
Yeah.
But if you beat me, then I know I did my best. So I don't know. I'm not.
And I feel like that's what separates us. And just from like a lot of other sports, especially like when it's like one-on-one, right? Like tennis, like you do want the other person to make mistakes. You know, I mean, obviously you want to like do better, but I feel like with us, it's just like, at least for me, yeah, I've never been like with anyone ever like, I hope they fail, you know, like fail. Like, no, I'm always
I haven't
just
been
like,
in positions in competition where that's ever come into play for me.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was better, then I would, like maybe at AO2 or maybe finals or whatever, if I'm in an A session. Usually I'm in the A session at AO2. Then like if other people fail, then maybe I will like get first place or something. Maybe I'd be like, yay, they missed the lift. But to be honest, it still doesn't really matter to me that much. I want everyone to do really well. Again, I'm not competitive enough right now to where it feels like I'm hoping other people will fail their lifts so that I could get first place.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I was trying to qualify for Pan Ams or like trying to qualify for Team USA and I needed to make my lifts and I needed them to miss their lifts, I'm sure I would be like in that position, hoping that someone else missed it. But I just have never been in that position, which is a privilege to this point. But I'm, you know, it's also a privilege to hope other people fail so that you can win.
I haven't reached that part.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Okay. Then my last question is just, how do you want to be remembered?
Wow. How do I want to be remembered? That is such a big question. And a really good one. I think I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah.
I'm only 30, you know, I hopefully will have a long life ahead of me. I think right now I would like to be remembered as someone who was really kind, who really cared about people, that didn't use people as a means to an end, but that people like were the end.
Yeah.
You know, people are the end. And that's in part why I'm changing my career, because people matter and I want to be a part of serving people. That's why I love coaching, because people matter, and coaching gives you the opportunity to help people see the best in themselves. That's why my faith matters, because I think it gives people hope, gives me hope, and I would like to be remembered as someone who put people first.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, any last thoughts?
Thanks for having me. This has been great.
No, hopefully I did well as your first guest. Oh wait, I forgot. Oh my god, I had this joke that I was gonna be throughout that, because you know, like weightlifters were always like, oh, this was a PR for like no socks and
That's
on
funny.
an empty stomach, and I was gonna be like, all of this was a PR for, you know,
first time,
first guest here. So yeah, well, good luck at nationals next week. And if I post this before, which I hope I will,
be cheering me on.
Everyone go cheer.
2 p.m. Central Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, white platform on Friday.
Perfect. Yes, go cheer. Alrighty. Well, thank you.
Great.